Hello, this is Chaff Commander Coffee, back with another episode of Dominions4, Thrones of Ascension, RandomNationGen. Having a lot of fun so far. I went over the last video and I noticed something which actually irked me so much. I'm going to start this episode with looking at it and hopefully not spoil anything, because there is some pretty cool things going on this turn. Very, very exciting things. But I'm going to go straight to Saltnoham. Yeah, these scouts that I got, and they were recruitable in my unit roster. I went over the video and actually bothered to read the description. It says that these scouts will become commanders after recruitment, so I should have been recruiting them, because it means my capital can always be recruiting a scout every 2 turns. Which is awesome, like, scouts without spending my commander recruitment slots. That's great. I will certainly take that. But on with the actual important stuff. I'm sorry, that just annoyed me so much when I noticed that. I just had to start by correcting myself. Anyway, let's start with the turn. Lami, or Lamai, the Highland Commander, has claimed the Throne of Bones in the name of Torvete. Now, the Throne of Bones, I'm fairly sure it will... Is that the one that spawns undead and they start attacking everyone? Because I don't want that. That'd be bad. Right. Anyway, we have. I'm gonna save this battle. I'm gonna watch that next. There is a bit of a spoiler in the messages. It did say we've started to destroy the gates. We did win, but you'll get to see the battle. But we did get the first hit on the barbarians, which was good. But oh man, they hurt. Oh, they're so powerful. Can we kill their commanders? Oh, we routed them anyway. Well, the goblins managed to outlast barbarians in a melee combat. That first strike really does help. It was very important that I placed them right to win that battle. If they had got first strike on us, these men would all be dead. Every single one of them. It was quite costly. We did lose 8 Sacreds and 1 Swordsman. In fact, I think this is probably my most costly expansion so far. Which is quite funny, considering that we're goblins. How on earth did we expand so well? We're just everywhere. It's just goblins everywhere. Or at least they own everywhere. Anyway. We are now next to Syria, which has a lot of undead. A lot of undead. So I'm starting to get the feeling they have some kind of reanimation thing on their nation. It's quite possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that's kind of unorthodox, but given that their army is quite large, I'm going to stick the province defense here to 30. It actually might be enough to deter them from attacking. You'd be surprised how effective province defense is at stopping the AI from moving. Although they do have they have like 160 men. They could walk over this province defense if they wanted to. So, but if there's an independence around here, or if they're in a war with Lunawatia, they might preference fight them over me. So we'll try to manipulate the AI into not immediately taking that land. I don't mind if I lose it. I'm currently busy in the north, as we know. Back on with the most important thing of this turn, though. The battle in Mexco. The siege of the Atlantian castle has begun, with a great battle in the plains. Do we win? We do. But how well do the goblins perform? Well, you'll have to just see. I'm going to let the battle play now. Just let you watch this. And that's it. There's no more Atlanteans. Well, there's no more Atlanteans outside of the castle, but I can guarantee you there should be plenty of them on the inside. But we'll get to them. It was an epic victory. We lost 5 men. I mean, we did lose 2 war elephants, which are very expensive, but we lost 5. We destroyed the entire mercenary company of Ichthyids, or Ichthyids. They were in this battle and we killed all of them. So Mexco would have spent, probably, given their situation, quite a lot of their treasury on hiring those mercenaries to try and win this battle. They also had a Lord of Ice. This is their sacred commanders of their Bearkin warriors, Ice Bearkin warriors. They're blunt resistant. I think that's their thing. They're blunt resistant. Taskmaster plus 11. That's insane. That means their slaves will never break in combat, and they can lead 120 men. I mean, to be fair, the slaves for this nation are Hoburgs, and Hoburgs aren't very good. So, I suppose having Hoburgs that never rout is kind of useful, but I wouldn't call it overpowered per se. Right, it's time to move this scout south. Now, as you can see, we are now sieging Mexco. And it doesn't look like they actually have very many candles left. In fact, these might be their last 2 candles. So what I'm going to do is have my prophet just preach whilst he's on top of the castle. And I'm going to try and give my prophet's men to another commander, if possible. And give the swordsman to him. I would actually rather have more men in this regiment, so I'm actually going to give some sacreds to this regiment as well. Because if they sally forth to break the siege, I want to keep my men like this, so I won't actually change my battle tactics until we actually choose to storm the castle, if we even need to. My prophet may just be able to kill their god by making no one believe in him. I mean, he hasn't appeared yet. As far as their people are concerned, their god doesn't exist. It was all just hearsay and rumour. Whereas our dragon is very real. I mean, he just burnt half their army, so... Yeah, I mean, if you have to believe in any god, Solve, the Prince of Majesty, is indeed the god to choose. He is more powerful than your god, that's for sure. This commander in Duvan, I recruit him with the express purpose of sending him back to Saltnaham to pick up reinforcements. But I decided I should probably send him into EL. I mean, it's only 3 skirmishers, but yeah, they've got experience, and this one's only got battle fright. I mean, goblins run away anyway, so might as well pick them up. It's a waste not to. Got a new scout in Valgard. I want this scout to move towards Syria, and I want any of those extra scouts that I recruit via this new method, which is very handy. I'm going to use them and send them east. I want to recruit more sacreds. I do want to recruit another one of these more powerful wizards though. I feel, because since they are flying, I can move them into Mexco very, very quickly. So, yes. I could actually... Yeah, he can move to Brightgate immediately. It's unfortunate we don't have a stop-off point, but... Yeah. I'm going to probably get this first wizard... He's going to be my first crafter. I want him to craft Jars of Fire. Probably, I mean... I don't have very many site searching opportunities, which is disappointing. I may have to... I think construction is going to be the way forward, because Solve is powerful enough to craft flaming skulls, is it? No, not flaming skulls, the flaming helmets. The flaming skulls are the death fire variant that boosts fire. I think the flaming helmets, they're not good because your wizards will tire out quickly, but if you're just giving them to wizards so that they can cast higher level fire magic on the strategic map, for example, giving one of these guys a fire helmet and him casting augury to find more fire sites, it saves my god time doing it himself. Also, if I forge a fire helmet and give it to one of these higher level wizards who randoms fire magic, he can then he can create his own fire helmets then, and then my god never needs to do it again, which is good. The less things my god has to do for my nation, the more fighting he can do for them, and which is good, being that he is a dragon. We want him to be fighting, not crafting magic items where possible. I think... Now, I know it was a bit excessive with the whole 30 province defense, but I have had success doing this in the past, so let's see if it works again. I do want to pull these goblins back, though. I feel leaving them here is going to get them killed. We are going to have to move through the wasteland, though, to get back, because this river has now... Well, it's not frozen over since there's enemy Dominion here, and it might remain that way for a little while. I have no temple. I do need to start getting temples going, but right now this siege is my main concern, so all gold has to be spent trying to improve my army so we can win this for sure. And on that note, we shall finish our recruitment for this turn with, I think I'll grab some more colossi. We have 3 of them, and we'll grab another one of these elite skirmishers. They cost 12 gold, so it rounds out nicely. Right, well, that's the treasury spent. As I said, the main focus of these next episodes are going to be on this siege of Mexco, so it might disjoint the seasons a little, but around 30 minutes is a good time for the videos anyway. If you'd prefer if the videos were longer, leave a comment. If you'd prefer they were just a single turn every time, then yeah, suggest that as well. I mean, I'll take the majority and do that instead. But I think seasonal is quite nice. It shouldn't be too long most of the time. Unless I babble on like this and we end up spending 30 minutes in every episode. So let's end the turn. I have a scout that's not doing anything. So I might have been correct. They have expanded into Shambhalak, so I'm going to move him into Sonria. See, this will give us vision all around here. It should help and figure out where Farworld is expanding to or from. I think they're expanding from up here because they didn't own here. So I think their capital is up here, which means that they're cut off from these southern provinces unless they have a cold dominion, which I'm not sure about yet. Anyway, let's end the turn. Research in construction is completed, as expected, although I am going to continue construction research up to 4, which means my blood magic might be behind for a little bit, but I would like to get dowsing rods up and going, the sanguine dowsing rods. That will help my level 1 blood mages be useful as blood hunters, as opposed to, you know, 1 blood, which is pretty useless, and you need like 5 of them to find any decent amount of blood slaves. So the dormant pretender gods are awakening. Now I started with an awake god, which means I got to use him from the start of the game. That cost you points. Well, it doesn't actually... Them being awake costs you no points, but if you make your god dormant, you get 150 extra points to give your god more magic or make your scales stronger. Or you can make them imprisoned. Now, dormant gods take about 1.5 years to wake up, give or take, I think it was 6 months. And imprisoned gods take 3 years, give or take 1 year. And I think it's always give or take plus 1 year. You can't have an imprisoned god awake sooner, so yeah. Whereas dormant pretender gods, I think you can have one dormant pretender god wake up on the same turn as the message, which is pretty useful. I think imprisoned gods always take a bit longer. Just to balance out, you get the most points with an imprisoned god, but just getting points is not always a good thing. You need... an awake pretender has its own advantages. As you can see, I've conquered a lot of land early on, which I may not have been able to do with just the goblins, because I have a dragon. There's an unexpected event has occurred in Valadon. New trade routes have been opened. It's nice to have good luck scales. And, but trade routes is interesting. Is it might just be luck. Might have something to do with growth. But I have sloth and turmoil, so that's not really trade-inducing scales, if you ask me. But, hey ho. An unexpected event has occurred in Aal. A witch was drowned in the well of a village. Thereafter, the water has started glowing in the moonlight. This esoteric substance has been distilled into a large quantity of gems. 12 water gems. Wow. That is a lot more useful than it sounds, because my one final random path on my wizards is water magic. Now with just 12 water gems, I have enough water gems to create water bracelets and then cast Voice of Apsu and find water sites, or just get one of them to search for water sites manually. Either way, it's enough gems to start boosting whatever water randoms I get into being more useful. So any water gems I can get a hold of via random events are a lot more useful than, say, getting air gems. Like, I have no use for air gems right now until I find an air mage. Nature gems would be useful, as I'm going to get a lab built in Golem range probably next turn. I just realised it's spring and I'm deciding whether I want to carry the video on or not. We had the battle in Mexco, that was sort of the main deal, if you would. I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to play this turn fast. I'm going to be super fast. Narek is going to move back to the capital. It's wasteland, so you can only move one. Why did you... Oh yes, you moved to pick up the goblins. I'm just going to script you to hold, guard, go back. What can we do here? I do want to get a lab up here, and I'll need to do that by next turn, so... it is 5,000 population. I could start some blood hunting there. He can also build a temple, given he's a priest, so I will move him to Golem range, because I will want a temple there, or else I can't train these wizards. They'll need a temple and a lab to be trained. So yes, he will go there to start building that. Did I remember to do this? I didn't, so I'll do that now. Just create a quick auto script for casting spells. I prefer to at least script them the 5 turns to cast spells. He has a lance, he might do something stupid like charge someone with it. I mean, he's flying, so he could do that. My scout here, oh wow. Oh, they have quite a sizable army. Oh, I don't want to spend all my gold on province defense, but I'm busy. I'm busy fighting Atlantians. Go away. Ugh. Well, I'm going to boost it to 20. In fact, no, I'm going to boost it to 30. I'm paranoid about that huge army, and I'd rather it didn't. I'd rather I didn't start a war. This does, however, make the game a bit longer the way I play, by boosting the province defense to coordinate what wars I want when I want them, but I don't feel comfortable starting a war with 3 nations potentially at once, especially with my nation being so sparse and me not having... I only have 1 combined force. I am building more, but it takes time. I'm going to train a basic wizard and some more sacreds, and the leftover gold can be spent on some basic... I'm going to train some more archers. Maybe I'll train a bulk of archers next turn. Right, now this was early spring. We're still just trying to break the fort down. They have almost lost all of their Dominion by the looks of it though, so I think this is going to be a Dom kill. Sorry everybody for those who are expecting a siege and an assault with all of my goblins going in and getting slaughtered. We're probably just going to make everyone just stop believing in their god. It's safer. It's safer and it seems to be working, so that's what we're going to do. I think. I'm going to end the turn. Next episode will be the rest of spring, so it will just be 2 turns. And then we'll go back to a normal schedule. I didn't know whether... Yeah. Might as well finish the episode on a high note. We have started to destroy the gate at the fort in Mexco. However, Ruadri, the god of Mexco, has been permanently vanquished. At the end, his dominion did not touch a single province, and his life force died with his dominion. Goodbye, Rodri, god of Mexco. Your land is now Saltnoham's land, and Solv has proven he is the true god of Valanis, having vanquished the first pretender in the game. Perhaps even you could consider personally, since he did win most of the early battles on his own. Solve is out with a vengeance, but we'll save that for a next video. Oh. Yeah, it's getting good. I think this is a strong early game, so expect to see possibly winning this, possibly taking enough thrones to win this game. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.